have our minuend, which is the larger number, the number that we are subtracting from. Here we have 16,421. We subtract our subtrahend. Here we have 14,831, and we will find our difference, the difference between the two, or our answer. All right, let's get started. As with the addition, we are going to work from right to left. We are going to start with our lowest place value, our ones, and work up to our highest place value. So let's work with our ones. In our ones place value, we have 1 minus 1. Well, we know that when we have 1 minus 1, we end up with 0. That was easy. Let's go on to our tens. 2 minus 3. We can't do that, can we? Because we know the number on top has to be larger than the number on the bottom so that we can subtract. We're going to have to get more. How can we get more? Where are we going to find more? We're going to come over here to our hundreds. We know that 100 is equal to 10 tens. So I am going to take one of those hundreds and I'm going to put 10 tens with the 2 tens I already have. So here I have 12 tens because 10 tens plus 2 tens is equal to 12 tens. So 12 minus 3 is equal to 9. And then we move on to our hundreds. Again, we have a smaller number on top than we do on the bottom. We cannot subtract 8 from 3. So we are going to have to come over to the thousands. And we know that 1,000 is equal to 10 hundredths. So I'm going to borrow from the thousands. I will take one of those thousands and I'm going to bring 10 of the hundreds over, and I'll add the 3 that I already have, and that gives us 13. Now we have 13 hundredths, and we can subtract. 13 minus 8 is equal to 5. We'll put our comma in here. And we'll move on to our thousands. 5 minus 4 is equal to 1. Now we move on to our 10,000s. We have 1 minus 1 is 0. Now, we put the 0 over here so we would have a placeholder, but we don't need a 0 here because we do not want to begin a number with a 0. So we'll just forget about that. We'll leave the number 1,590. Okay, another thing you're going to be asked to do is to make an estimate. Remember, when we estimate, we round numbers. So we are going to round these two numbers to the nearest 1,000. Okay, so we have 16,421. Now if I were to round this number to the nearest 1,000, I look to the neighbor on the right, and that foretells me that the 6 is going to stay the same. So all of the other numbers to the right zap to zeros. So I'm going to end up with the number 16,000. Now I'm going to do the same thing with 14,831. Remember, we're rounding to the nearest thousand. I'm looking to the neighbor on the right. That 8 tells me that I'm going to go up 1. I'm going to add 1. So my 4 is going to become a 5. Everything to the right zaps to zeros. So my 14,000 will round to 15,000. And then I subtract. And the estimate is 1,000. This can tell me, an estimate can tell me if my answer is about the right amount. All right? Another way you can figure out if your answer to a subtraction problem is correct is to add. You can check a subtraction problem by adding. So we're going to do that as well. I can take the difference, 1,590, and add it to the subtrahend, 14,831. And let's find out what the sum is going to be. 0 plus 1 is 1. 9 plus 3 is 12. I carry my 1. 8 plus 5 is 13. Plus 1 is 14. I carry my 1 again. 4 plus 1 is 6. And then I bring down my 1. I end up with a sum of 16,421. Now look up here. That is the same as my minuend, the number I started with, the number I subtracted from. If I get the minuend, if those two numbers match, I know that I got the difference to my subtraction problem correct. Okay. And that is how we subtract whole numbers.